13, no CPA. That is a very foolish business decision. Only a fool would attempt to do their own taxes. Taxes are so complicated. I can tell you a lot of CPAs don't even know how to do tax properly. It's as big a mess as it is, especially with the multiple different tax brackets, sliding scale tax brackets there is out there right now. And those of you who've been to my school understand what I'm talking about. Man, 2018, they changed it from several different layers. And you don't hit 37% until you get over 600 and some odd $1,000 this year. So, golly, try to be a CPA, and then you try to keep track of all the IRS rules. Just take a look at your tax return and let's see if you could follow the lines and figure out how the heck to do it. No, let professional CPA do your returns for you. I promise you, you will be glad you did. So you keep the biggest collection agency in the world off of your back. This is one gorilla you do not want to dance with. I can assure you of that. Don't forget that you as an entrepreneur are required to make quarterly deposits on your projected income. If you don't, not yearly deposits, you can't go to the end of the year and wait till you file your taxes next year and then pay them. Because if you do, they're going to hit you with taxes, penalties and interest because you didn't pay it quarterly like you're supposed to. How do you think I know that, incidentally? So you got to estimate your taxes every quarter, make a tax deposit, or you're going to get penalized. This is something I would assign your CPA to make sure that this form gets filed every quarter. And it's very easy for you to tell them, look, this is what I've received for this quarter. Jiminy Christmas, just look in your checkbook and look at the deposits, for crying out loud. And because it's just an estimate anyway. On the full year's tax return, it's all going to be adjusted out. But frankly, when you're making quarterly deposits, you're probably better off to overpay than underpay. Because that last quarter now, he can put on your tax return, and well, it depends on when you get your returns done. That may not be true because I don't get my returns done till October the 15th. I haven't filed before that as long as I can remember. As long as I've been in business, October the 15th. So that means you got to do a fourth quarter filing as well. And, just do your best guess based on the kind of money that you are making. And frankly, that your CPA will come up with that answer for you. Try to keep you out of trouble with the IRS. Save you many times what they cost. And don't forget payroll taxes as well. Whew, boy, they get nasty when you don't pay enough payroll taxes. You got to be filed on a quarterly basis. You got to pay them on time. And they just keep on coming. They will not stop until they collect that money. I mean, in fact, I believe they can collect, I don't know this, but I believe they can collect payroll taxes even if you file bankruptcy. So let them, what do they do? They'll file forms for you, right? That's what they do. Why don't you let them do it? I can tell you a story. Oh, it's been several years ago now. After the 2008 mess, man, I had a huge bunch of losses. So one year we filed my return, and my losses outweighed all my gain, and I paid no taxes that year, which makes it real easy for me to understand why Donald Trump pays very little taxes. Trust me, he pays one way or the other. Call it income tax or call it whatever tax you want. But, he puts the same amount of money into the economy. He just don't want to run it through the IRS hands first so they can squander it. And he's just using the legal loopholes that we're all allowed to use. And when you own a lot of property, there's a ton of ways where you can drive down your taxes. So one year I had a zero tax. Next year, I got a notice from the IRS that I owe him $1 million. How would you like to get that thing in the mail? I mean, that was a bad day. And on top of that, it took me about a day and a half to get a hold of my to send it over to my CPA. So my CPA went to war with the IRS, and he got them to reverse that decision and totally eliminate anything that I owed them. A CPA saved me $1 million 1 year. What do you think he's worth to me now? I mean, I don't bring this up very often because he holds it against me, but I'm okay with that because, frankly, he knows more about the IRS rules than the IRS knows. So, look, if you want a CPA, get one that's been around a while. Don't get some kid out of school. Get one that's got a history in doing all kinds of transactions with all kinds of clients, and get one that clearly understands the IRS rules. And they don't cost you any more than one that doesn't, for crying out loud. Make sure you get a CPA and use a CPA. It's foolish not to, because you're absolutely going to pay one way or the other. And if you don't have one, you're going to pay a lot more.